The following is a brief introduction to how you can create a safe space experience using the thermal mirror. As a starting point, let's talk about how we got here. Pre-COVID, InReality was focused on venue analytics. Think small cameras, primarily in a retail setting, that provided insights as to how shoppers moved around stores, what they interacted with, demographics, etc. The mission was to help businesses use real metrics to improve the customer experience. When the pandemic hit, we realized taking temperature was just another data source, and that we could leverage our platform to help organizations safely reopen. So everything I'm going to show you is built on a solid platform that's been around for over 5 years. Now, no one can doubt that COVID has really rocked the very foundation of business operations. And nobody had a tried and true playbook for this, but one thing's for certain, every market's dealing with how to mitigate risk and try to understand what their legal duty of care is. Everyone wants to keep their employees safe and make their visitors and customers feel safe, but let's be real, the primary motivator is to protect a business fiscally and legally. This solution didn't exist at the beginning of 2020. We did have a core platform, and we built up top of that everything that you're going to see here right alongside our clients. It really has been trial by fire. Every week we deploy more projects and we learn from each. What this means is we've already experienced the bruised elbows and skinned knees, and the product is very mature and built off of that solid platform. As of the end of 2020, we're protecting almost 400 organizations in 14 countries, administering nearly 250,000 screenings each week. Again, these have all been deployed in the last few months, and there's hundreds of other projects in the process that are being evaluated and installed. Now, what we learned through all of this is that it isn't as much about the product as it is about the process and how to use technology to make this easy on customers and employees. Where we landed is a simple 3-step process: check in, scan temperature, and then clear to proceed. So before I jump into the software, I'm going to set the stage by showing you the most common use cases. Let's start with the experience for employees. The first step is for a user to open a web app, answer some Q&A before they even leave home. These are questions such as, are you experiencing these symptoms, or have you traveled outside the area? And this is all configurable by the employer, and employees can easily bookmark it to answer them each day. When an employee arrives at the office, they'll approach the display. Attached is typically going to be a badge scanner. This is where they can scan their badge or a QR code that's available to them in the web app to identify themselves. Then the screen's going to guide them to position their forehead, and it'll capture their temperature. It can also be set up to detect if a person's wearing a mask or not. The final step is to log all the information for compliance reporting and issue the person a pass. Think of it like a boarding pass. This could be digital on the phone to show security, or it could be printing out a badge or a sticker. You can also tag employees as exempt, so if they've taken the vaccine, you can always give them a pass to quickly move through. The process is very similar for guests. They can scan a QR code and take the QA from their mobile phone, and then use that mobile web app to identify themselves to the kiosk. As a guest not using a mobile phone, they can also be presented the questions simply on the touchscreen. Again, you decide what type of questions are assigned to what type of person, so employees may get different questions than visitors or vendors. Once the Q&A is passed, it'll prompt them to the thermal mirror to take their temperature, and then it'll log the information and print out a sticker. Now, the key is behind the hardware is an enterprise-grade platform that's scalable. Flexibility is key. As you get new direction from HR and legal, the platform is going to let you easily update your workflows and settings and publish them out to your entire network. This makes life much easier than running around with a keyboard and a mouse to every device. Rules and regulations are still evolving, so at any time you can set your data retention policy on the device and in the cloud to determine how long you want to keep the data before anonymizing it. The real value of the technology is to help you save the cost of a resource that's manually checking people. So with the technology, if somebody fails, the system can send emails, text messages to notify everybody of failures. And you can import all of your employees from a CSV or simply enter them in the software, or you can use our APIs to integrate with access control, workforce management, Active Directory, etc. All the data is available in detailed reports that can be run on demand, or you can schedule them to send them out daily or weekly. And everything can be shared in dashboards to show screening details at a glance or for the entire network if you want to drill down into specific sites. As I mentioned, this is built on top of APIs to provide you the option to integrate and bring data or take data out of the InReality platform. Now, We've deployed hundreds of clients and thousands of devices over the last few months. These real-world installations have taught us a number of lessons, and we're happy to share our experience with you. Some of the keys: flexibility is important. The rules are changing. You need to be able to adapt on the fly. Doing a Q&A on a touchscreen is great for just a few visitors, but if you've got a lot of employees, you need to enable them to do it from a mobile phone and to take that Q&A before even leaving home. It's best to have somebody identify, usually by swiping a badge, before they even take their temperature. Otherwise, you can run the risk of them failing the screening, but then not identifying themselves. And early on, we did do a number of projects where we were leveraging facial recognition, which we do support, but it's 97 to 98% accurate, which sounds great, but when you have thousands of employees, that 2% can add up, and it creates a lot of noise. And then back to the flexibility, the APIs are key to helping you integrate the technology into your current business systems. So why do this? Why should you do a screening process? I don't mean to pick on Smithfield, but we all remember their response early on in the crisis, and the litigation is going to continue for years to come. Think of this technology as an insurance policy to not only help you protect your employees, but help keep your business out of the headlines. If you'd like a demo about how our product can work with your business, just email us at sales@inreality.com. Thank you.